Generative artificial intelligence tools, or GATEs, are not without problems. They are not perfect. There are many ethical concerns. Briefly, we'll take a look at each category based on the writing of scholar Leon Furs. AI tools absorb huge amounts of data from the internet, and this data includes incorrect, hateful, and biased information. The data comes from humans after all, and we are all sometimes hateful, biased, and absolutely wrong. There are many examples we know about AI tools and algorithms being biased. The state of Florida and other states use an AI system to evaluate criminals at sentencing. This system uses many factors to calculate how likely a suspect will be to commit further crimes. According to ProPublica, the system is biased against African Americans. While the system is fair in the sense it does not use race directly, it is biased because race has played a part in the historical data used by the AI algorithm to calculate a risk score. Worse, AIs may have biases that are unknown or not as obvious. An even bigger issue with text gates like ChatGPT is accuracy or truth. All types of gates do something called hallucinating, and this means they just make stuff up. Remember, the gate is mimicking human communication. It is not really reasoning. And there have been some pretty famous hallucinations so far. Or recently, lawyers were fined $5,000 for submitting papers to the court that referenced made-up court cases. In Georgia, ChatGPT is being sued because the tool falsely indicated a man was stealing money from a group he belonged to. Even AI tools that generate images make weird mistakes. So look at the hands sometimes of AI-generated humans. They often have 6 or more fingers. At TU, you are on the hook for being correct, and if you use AI, you must make certain it is accurate. Learn to verify what a tool says through other means, such as references from verifiable sources like the library or your course textbook. Text gates are wrong all the time, but when you read what they say, they sound confident and convincing. They are mimicking the human writing they've seen. Whatever you write in a gate may find its way into the gate's data. While tools are beginning to provide some safeguards on your private data, they have a long way to go. Remember, never provide a gate with sensitive information you don't want the whole world knowing. While we're talking about data, you should consider the datification of the world. Everything is becoming data these days. Tech companies are able to leverage this data to develop wealth and power. Copyright and who owns the source material is a major issue with gates. Remember, those tools develop their databases by scraping information from the internet. The creators of the information were not consulted prior to the scraping. Image, sound, and text generative gates are all being sued by artists and writers because they did not give permission to the AI companies to use their work. It's unclear how the courts will rule on these issues or how companies like OpenAI could have their tools unlearn certain information. Another copyright issue is that AI-generated works cannot be copywritten because they were not created by humans. Another ethical question about AI is the massive energy consumption required to train and operate gates. Tools like ChatGPT rely on giant banks of computers in the cloud requiring significant energy to operate. Similar to environmental concerns, today's AI models were not created exclusively by those powerful computers, but by human laborers involved in training the tools. In the case of ChatGPT, workers in Africa were paid $2 an hour. For the current generation of tools, there will always be a large human component to the creation of an AI. Furs talks about power as the most complex ethical question surrounding AI. How much power are we ceding to AI-powered tools? How much wealth and power are we giving to the companies that provide AI tools which they built by summarizing the human experience that was made by all of us? Do AI tools continue to propel certain people with resources even further ahead of others? It's difficult for us to answer those questions right now, but we should be thinking about them. One last element with AI are the dark uses of the tools. Now, Fake emails designed to get our passwords will look even more realistic. Cyber criminals will be able to more rapidly duplicate their schemes. When Uncle Hal's Facebook accounts gets hacked, a much more realistic chat version of him will try to convince you to go buy some gift cards to get him out of jail. Like any tool, AI can be used for good or evil, and you should consider these questions as you navigate AI in your studies and professional career. In our final video, we want you to think about how you can and should use gates in your classes.